Hi. Learn to manage your daily distress. That could be disturbing thoughts, unpleasant body sensations, and uncomfortable emotions. Let me guide you through these uncomfortable events that happen under our skin and offer you a different perspective in order to experience a higher quality life. In the last episode, we spoke about things that are important to us, and in some natural way, we get some fear and horrible feelings that kind of show up, kind of a natural anxiety because we have important things to us. So here we have a fear. Anxiety is usually based on some fear. So in a simple way, we have something important, we have a fear that we might lose it. Now we have the possibility of focusing our energy. We only have a finite amount of energy and focus. So we can focus on getting closer to the things that are important in our lives, or we can use that energy to focus on getting away from this anxiety and fear. And as I explained, we naturally have a tendency, it seems, to get away from this fear before we start to get closer to things that are important. And so what do we do in getting away from these things that are anxious? We do all sorts of behaviors, and these behaviors can be things like avoiding things of these fears. So listening to music, doing sports, smoking cigarettes, taking drugs, taking alcohol, getting angry, slamming doors. Wherever our behavior is, because we want to numb these feelings, these events that are going under our skin, and instead we do these behaviors. And in the short term, we actually feel a bit better. But what happens in the longer term? Well, in the longer term, let's have a look at it. If you're doing all these things, like getting angry, taking substances, sleeping in, not getting out, not being sociable, withdrawing, are these behaviors going to take you closer in your relationships to who's important to you? Probably not. Is it going to take you closer to doing the things that are important to you? A good possibility or not, because you're busy focusing on all these activities so that you don't experience these feelings. And what happens when you've got over them? So you've come down from your high, or you've got relaxed after you've been angry at somebody, or you've now come out of your bedroom and you're not so withdrawn, and realize that maybe you've done a little bit damage over here to the things that are important. How now do you feel? Well, now you feel extra suffering of some sort. Okay, so you might feel regret, you might feel oh man, how stupid can I be that I did that kind of thing instead of going out with the people that I wanted. I just stayed in all day, or so on and so forth. And so we've just added suffering. And now we have two sets of pain. We have this dirty pain, this kind of suffering because of the behavior that we were doing, plus we have our kind of natural anxiety because of the things that were important. So now we've got two sets of pain, emotional pain. So now, what do we do in order to avoid this two sets of pain? We do some more of this avoidant behavior. And then we add more suffering. And then so we continue to add suffering again and again and again, in addition to this original anxious kind of behavior. And so the trend goes, the circle, and we get locked in to a particular type of behavior that's getting us further and further away from what's important. So now we have to understand, what do we do with all this? Well, first of all, we have to realize that this is the kind of knot we've got ourselves into, okay? And it's just a continuous loop of unhealthy and unproductive behavior. What we want to try and do is to focus on what's who and what's important to us, and start doing behaviors that will take us closer to these things that are important. So we'll talk about that in the next episode. If you are interested in joining me in this journey of prevention, of mental fitness, of psychological flexibility, of making our lives much higher in quality and much deeper in quality, then please comment, share, tag, like, love, whatever it takes in order to get more people on board and join me in this wonderful journey of making our lives much higher in quality.